engineer, call it QA tester, quality assurance analyst. You know, it comes in different forms, different companies with different names for the roles. But we're basically software test engineers, and what we do is we test software, and we, in a way, you know, after testing software, provide quality assurance for these products. All right, and I'm going to be leading us in this charge of trying to understand what software testing is all about, what is QA, how can you start your journey in QA? Is it too late to do that in this year? No, it's not. All right. So we're going to be talking about all of that. So we're about to start. So if you know anyone who has been looking for an opportunity like this, I want you to send the link to the person, whether it is the YouTube link or is the Google Meet link. Send this link to the person, let them join in. You can also send the link to just put it on your status. You know, there are so many people that are trying to just find a way to enter tech. This is one of the easiest ways. There are so many ways, so many easy ways to enter tech, especially those ones that don't require coding. Software testing is one of that way, and I want to show you how to enter tech through software testing. All right. So I think maybe I should start with a brief introduction about me. I've been doing software testing for 4 years now, over 4 years now, and it's been a rewarding experience. Before software testing, I had started with software development. I was just fascinated with, you know, just be building up. You know, that year where software development was just the main thing everywhere, right? And it's still like that, right? So all through my school, I would just do PHP, do Java, do different things and all of that. But after a while, you know, I left school, did business, now came back. You know, I tried to pick up software development. I did software development. I learned it. I had to relearn it again. So I built some applications in Node.js. You know, I was learning backend much more than, you know, full stack, and built a couple of applications, applied for internships, some everywhere just blocked. You know, by that time, I couldn't really even get one internship as software developer because I think the knowledge I had, it was so small compared to what was needed to even begin with as an intern, right? It was too small. So nobody was listening to me. So I was just like, okay, what are my options? I had the opportunity of learning software testing many years ago before then, in 2016 particularly, but I didn't take the option. They came to my school to come and teach us like this, you know, tell us about software testing, tell us we can take the course, tell us how much it was going to cost us and everything. But I didn't take the opportunity. They came to my school then. I was in Babcock. I finished from Babcock. So they were alumni members of my department, computer science, and they came and to teach us software testing. But I said I just wanted to get a good degree. I didn't take the opportunity. So some of my friends, of course, took the course. I think at that time it was about $110, you know, also which included the certification. So I think they taught them for free, that kind of thing, and then included the certification. So they paid. For me, I did not pay. So fast forward to 2018, I left school, started, you know, business, came back to Lagos 2020 after COVID, started work and all of that. So that was when I decided that, okay, let me know what the software testing was all about. So I now went back to that agency that came to our school then, because it was a graduate of our school that started that agency. They teach software testing and all of that. So I paid about 425,000 plus the certification, the international certification, and the training, and they said they were going to give us an internship and all of that stuff. So I paid about 425K. This was in 2021, right? And took the training, and, you know, the rest they say is history. From there, started working at Simfix. So they placed me at Simfix when I finished working. I think my salary was like 120K then, started. And from there, you know, I don't want to say too much about my story, but and from there I started picking up, applying for other jobs, and I'm here today. So, and this experience was what gave birth to the QA school, and why we're doing what we do at the QA school, to give people an opportunity to switch to tech. So my experience at Simfix was very terrible in such a way that, you know, I entered Simfix October. By November, I already wrote my resignation letter. I said I wasn't doing again. I said this stress is too much, that this was not the software testing that they taught me in class and all of that. So the experience was so different. So I decided that I was going to make sure that I start sharing my knowledge with people in terms of what software testing, so what you should expect every day, day to day, and all of that. All right. So that's a bit of my story. And I want to tell you how you can kickstart your journey in software testing. So you've been hearing software testing. And why is software testing the most beginner-friendly tech path? All right. I know you have questions. So if you have questions, just put down your questions. We'll attend to them. We'll have a section to attend to them. This presentation will not last longer than, I want to time myself, this 2038. So in another 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes, I'm going to be done with this presentation. All right. So software testing is an accessible and beginner-friendly way to enter the tech industry. It does not require coding knowledge to begin, right? It just needs you to be curious, and you need that willingness to learn, all right? So anyone can start from scratch, and you can build a high-income career, right? At the moment, combined, not earning less than $1 million, and right? And one of the reasons why I've developed that kind of value is because, you know, over time, I've put myself to work when it comes to the testing. So, you know, I can tell you that there are some people that have done 4 years and are not earning more than 500K. So it's not really about how long you have spent. It's more about what you know and how you can position yourself. All right. And we're going to be getting to that shortly. So all you need to know is, you know, are you curious to learn? Do you really want to learn and all of that? You don't need coding, because when you hear software testing, for instance, you have WhatsApp, right? You have applications on your phone. When you get software testing, what it really means is that application, before it gets to you, there is somebody's job in a company that his role is just, how far we don't finish this, you know, can't test that, can't check if it work. It's just like when somebody fixes, you know, fridge for you at home. They fix something and they say, oh yeah, come and check it, right? You don't, all you need to know is, how is this supposed to work, right? When you know how it is supposed to work, and this is what I tell my students too, of course, you know, when you know how it is supposed to work, then it makes testing easy. Testing becomes easy. But if you don't know how something is supposed to work, then you don't know what to test, right? If they call somebody to come and test a food, you know, to come and taste a food, for instance, you come and test it to check if it is sweet. It means you have an idea of what sweet looks like and tastes like, right? Exactly. So the same thing, whether it is WhatsApp, Facebook, you know, all of those big applications that you have on your phone, Snapchat and the rest of them, they have testers, right? And you'll be surprised that they have more than 100 testers in a company testing just one single app to make sure that you have a good experience. Yes, you know, we can quickly check that out. And you'd be surprised. You know, I like practical stuff a lot in my class. So I'm sharing my ChatGPT now. And we can ask ChatGPT, how many testers does Facebook have? Let's see how many there. I'm very sure it's not one person. It's a couldn't find, right? So okay. Okay, so he said he couldn't find a publicly verifiable figure for how many dedicated testers Meta platform. In fact, according to one source, they don't maintain a large separate tester team in a conventional sense. Instead, they rely heavily on developer testing, dog fooding, canary. Okay. So, but they have, look at this, they have over 260,000 plus testers in a feedback group as of 2013. Right? As of what? 2013. So what that means is the role of you becoming a tester is very, very huge. It is huge, right? It is enormous, it is important. Your role is important. You know, quality assurance involves more than just clicking and clicking. Your role involves making sure the company does not lose money in a way that makes sense, guaranteeing quality. If developers have built something, I mean, you know that it's developers that build software, right? So if they build something, your own is to check that that thing they said they built, it makes sense, it works, and that when it gets to the users and users will enjoy it. All right, users will enjoy it. Very, very important. So companies depend on testers to ensure quality. That's very important. You know how powerful your role is. If you say that we're not going to deploy this application to users, so nobody will see it because it is not quality. It's not going anywhere because you are the one that decides what is quality. All right. So, and that is how important software testing is, and that's what I do every day, right? That's what I do every day. I check applications. Is it working? No, it's not working the way it's supposed to work. I check again and again, and all of that. Now, there are career opportunities and growth in QA. All right. Um, Quality assurance offers endless growth opportunities. There are different roles. You have QA analyst, you have test engineer, you have lead coordinator, you have product roles, and there's so many other roles, right? And there are global opportunities and competitive salaries. Now, for somebody that is starting off in Nigeria, you know, depending on the company you're working with, you can start with 50, 70,000, 150K, 250K, depending on the company and the budgets that they have, right? Like I told you, when I started then in 2021, it was 120K that they were paying me, right? That was what they were paying me. After a while, when I told them that the money was too small because I was fully remote, they increased it to 300, right? And it has been climbing like that, like that. So it depends on the company. I've seen there are students that took our course that started with 400K. There are students that took our course that started with 100K. There are some that started with 70K, some started with 150K. So it depends on the company. You know how Nigerian companies are. So it depends on the company and the value you are bringing. That's another thing. So usually what I tell them is, first of all, develop value, right? Become the kind of person that can attract any kind of job, and you can say no to any kind of job. So nobody will hold you to ransom. That's the way it works. So if you are the kind of person that you want to earn a lot of money, it's good to earn so much money. In fact, I still told a couple of people today before this before this workshop, it's good to think about it and say, I want to earn so much money in my career. But what will make that money come to you is not by you going to apply in the company that will give you the money. That's not just it. You have to develop the value. You need to understand that money follows in the direction of value, right? So if you don't develop the value, money is not going to flow to you, all right? So the same thing with QA. There are things you need to learn. You need to grow in that understanding of QA before you now become somebody like that can say, okay, no, I don't want this job. Yeah, right? You just have 3 offers. Those things they say on LinkedIn is possible. You get 3 job offers and you don't know which one to pick because you are too good, right? And I've seen someone that started QA in 6 months. The way the person is talking is like, you would think the person has been doing QA for years. I'm not joking, because they applied themselves to it. Why am I staying so much on this? Because career opportunities and, you know, it is endless. What determines this is how much work you are ready to put into this thing, right? How much work you're ready to put in. So why beginners succeed fast, even with zero tech background? I think I was already talking about that, right? So QA is accessible to newcomers. It focuses on thinking rather than coding. If you can analyze, if you can pay attention, right? If you can communicate, then you will excel in QA. If you're the type that The moment you're seeing something, you're already thinking of how you can make it better. No, it's not supposed to be like, it's supposed to be like, it's not supposed to be like this, right? You can critically think of something. What are the dependencies? What are possible issues that if we do this thing, it can affect many other things? Do you understand? If you are the type that you know how to pay attention to details and your communication is excellent, you know, you're the type that you're not shy, you don't want to shy away from communicating. You're not the type that when they call you a meeting, they say, do you have any question? No. You know, they call you, say, they say, Gloria, do you have any question? No, I don't have any question, right? As a QA, you have to be that kind of person that is able to communicate properly. Now, if you have all of these things naturally, you will excel even faster. Now, if you don't, you will need to cultivate that culture. You know, it's not everything. Whatever role you are doing now, whatever job you are doing now, it's not all of the skills you need to excel that you have that you had from beginning. You have to cultivate some of the culture, right? For instance, you will not believe if I told you that I used to be a very shy person. And I'm still a very shy person when I see people, you know, one-on-one. You know, to go and approach somebody and start talking. I don't know how to do it. Some people know how to do it. I don't know how to do it, right? But now I have to do it because I have, you know, what I'm selling. I'm a software tester. Come and buy what I'm selling. So if you are shy, you will not make money. You will not eat. And so I have to be able to tell people, I'm a software tester. Do you have applications for me to test? Let me help you test it. So, and all of that. So you have to overcome some things, build a culture that will help you thrive in this field. All right. So many things. Now, the skills you will build, right? In QA, everything begins with manual testing, right? Even though they've said online this recently, a lot of people have been dragging each other. They don't call it manual, don't care. So before you want to start learning so many tools, understand the very basics of testing. All right. The very basic of testing. Every other thing you will learn in testing is built on that basic knowledge. In fact, I can tell you that you will not know how to do anything automation, how to use tools and all of that if you don't know the very basics of testing. Because even in the biggest of the biggest companies, they still employ the use of, you know, manual testing, as we call it, right? Understanding how test works, how to test something and not to use tools. Understanding requirements. What is the requirement of this application? What do they want you to test? That's what I'm saying. That's what I mean by requirement. What do they want you to test? How do you understand it? What does it mean to you? You know, all of those basics, very, very important. So how beginners can stand out and grow fast. Beginners grow faster when they remain visible, they share their progress, ask questions, join the communities, and visibility attract opportunities. You know, I've said it before. I've seen people that, if you go and check on LinkedIn, you know, just do hashtag the QA school or just search for the QA school. You're going to see so many of our students that have posted about themselves, and some of them that were best graduating students, some of them that won one award or the other, some of them that were just delighted with the teaching experience and all of that. The visibility they've gotten from just putting that out there, people reaching out to them saying, okay, Alpha, we feel like you will be a very suitable candidate for us at our company and all of that stuff, right? And if you don't talk about all of those things, if you don't share the progress of what you have done so far, you are not putting yourself out there and you are removing yourself from opportunities when they come. You are, right? So we always encourage our students, right? That's one way to grow fast. Share the progress. Okay, you have started one course today, you are doing this. You go and tell everybody online, right? And you know what I'm telling you now, we are limiting it to QA, but it works everywhere. Whatever it is that you have decided you want to learn by the end of this year or coming next year, go and talk about it, right? That's one way to even keep yourself accountable, to make sure you finish the class. You know that you have signed up for several classes that you did not finish. I'm talking to you, you know. You know, you have signed up for several things that you have not finished. So one way to keep yourself accountable is to sign up for the class. Go and talk about it on your LinkedIn. Guys, I'm starting a 6 weeks journey on software testing. This is going to be very, very instrumental to my growth, my career. I want to switch to tech. I just want to see what it's all about. Please join me on this ride. Yes, now you have sold yourself out. You see, Chidima knows I'm talking to her. Yeah. Sold yourself out. The next thing is there will be so much pressure on you to come and talk about it the following week again. Guys, this thing where they think nobody like that, but he's going fine, right? Well, 1 week in, I started talking about software testing, you know, what software testing is all about. Next week, we're going to be working on test cases. I'm excited. I just want to see what it's all about. You know, next week you come again, your energy is coming down small, because now you are beginning to do some real work. You started writing test cases. You've seen how it is. But through it all, you're learning something, discipline. Yes, you're learning the discipline. There's nothing you want to achieve in this career if you cannot learn the discipline of it. If you cannot just sit with something, don't be the kind of person that starts stuff and don't get it through. Don't be that kind of person. You must be able to see things through. Right? You have to be, there's somebody that is drawing, that is making me go this way. I will come back. You have to be able to see things through. All right? If you don't see things through, you will not be the kind of person that leverages on opportunities when they come. Yes. And you cannot be visible. Nobody will know you because you are not a finisher. Yes. The world rewards finishers, people that stay true to the end. So if you start something, no, whether it is 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, make sure you are able to finish it. Even if you feel like this thing is not very, very instrumental to my career and destiny and all of that. If it is something that you can afford to finish, do it. All right? If it's something you can afford to finish, do it. All right? So, I mean, there are other mistakes that new testers make and, you know, how to avoid them. Number one is you just rush into testing without understanding what you need to test. Why? Why? Imagine if I say, Victor, please download WhatsApp and test WhatsApp. The next, Victor is going to look like, what do you want me to test in WhatsApp, right? What do you want me to look out for? Or especially when I even tell Victor, we just made some updates on WhatsApp. Please, can you test and make sure they are working fine? The next question is, what is the updates? What are the updates, right? Can you give me a documentation that comprises of all of the updates you want me to check? Very important. So, you know, this thing sounds very easy. It sounds very simple, but a lot of people do it, right? They just rush into testing without understanding requirements. And sometimes there is no proper documentation, so you just have a call with somebody. In fact, this will always be a quarrel from now to tomorrow in any product team. They will just tell you, okay, we need to test so. Request for documentation, my brother and sister. Request for it, because you always need to go back to it. Very important. So take your time, ask questions, then test thoroughly, right? Good habits. You know, it's very easy to give good advices because even me too, I need this. I'm not beyond this. I'm not. So it's just something that guides every test along the way. Sometimes you'll be like, when you have reached a particular level, you feel like you are now invisible. Yeah, you know anything that they bring your way. You still need this thing because there's nothing you want to test if you don't understand documentation. And at the end of the day, if you don't test properly, there will be bugs, there will be issues. And the first person they will call is the tester. Are you sure you tested this thing properly? Why did you tell us to go live without testing? Yes, they will put you under the bus. So that's why it is your responsibility to make sure that you understand what you need to test. And if it doesn't meet up with the requirement, you call it out immediately. All right? Immediately. These are good habits that will make you a reliable tester. Remember, we're still on the journey to talk about being a tester. So that's why at the QA school, we have decided to organize what we call the SkillUp Bootcamp. Now, we have our regular cohorts and all of that, right? But this SkillUp Bootcamp has been designed to quickly educate people on what it means to be a software tester, every concept in software testing, everything you need to get going. All right, everything you need to get going. And we're doing this because we did this last year. We had so much feedbacks. I think for the whole edition of the boot camps, we had more than 150, yes, more than 100 students that joined the boot camp last year. We did November, December, I think we did January too, right? And it was so successful. In fact, some of our best students yet in the QA school in general, a lot of them came from the boot camp. A lot of them, even the ones that are working with me personally, that are like technical assistants to me, a lot of them came from that November boot camp, which is why we decided that, okay, let's introduce this again. Maybe there's something this November boot camp is introducing. And I'm already seeing some of the energy in the group chat here. All right. So what this boot camp is going to give you is a certificate, right? That, okay, yes, you attended this boot camp, you know what software testing is all about, and everything that concerns quality assurance. All right. And we're also going to be giving you a guidance on building and tailoring your CV. Let me tell you, you are not in the room when they are choosing you. Your CV is there and the grace of God. But if your CV is not even readable, how will they even know your name to reach out to you, right? If your CV is not making sense to them. Now, I mean, I still interview people at my workplace, and I also employ people, right? And I see the kind of CV they've sent. It is deplorable. It is not acceptable anywhere, right? Now, some of us have heard a lot of things about what to do with CV, but you don't do them. So this is another opportunity to hear them and have that knowledge with you and actually use them, all right? So we're going to be talking to you about your CV, what you should do properly, how you should do it, right? I don't want to go into that in this class, okay? So some of the other things you need to do on your LinkedIn, maybe recruiters are not saying you because of the names and everything, right? There is a way your LinkedIn is supposed to be optimized, right? The byline, your introduction, your description, your bio, the way your job, and there was a time, because I used to manage the supermarket that year, many years ago, right? So there was a time where I had, what's it called? I had them in my LinkedIn, manager, supermarket manager. I didn't know that I didn't need it, right? Because I was trying to position myself as a tech bro, but I had supermarket manager as one of my previous jobs on LinkedIn. So when people come to I just noticed that people were not taking me seriously. Yes, this was far back 2017, 2018. I just noticed that people were not taking me seriously. That I see a whole me that has managed people. And see, let me tell you, the supermarket I manage is not small. It's ShopRite or something like ShopRite in the East. Big supermarket with millions of naira. And I was feeling myself, but I didn't know that that's not how to position myself. All right. I even put one too because I had engineering experience when I did IT in Umaya too. So I put it there, Gymnast Nigeria Limited, makers of crude oil, palm oil. Hey, God, I have done things in the past, right? So what am I trying to say? There is a way to position your LinkedIn. There is a way for you to brand yourself for people to see you differently, all right? For people to see you different. It was recently that I had to delete those things. I said, no. Stop it in the name of Jesus. I bind all these things, and then I had to trim it to what I'm doing now, what I want people to see, right? So it's very important. So, see, for instance, somebody reached out to us on LinkedIn through someone and said they needed 4 testers. Do you know what they said we should send to them? Their LinkedIn profile. I'm telling you, that's what the recruiter needed to do. They said, send 4 LinkedIn profiles to us. And they checked their LinkedIn profile. They said they were impressed with what they saw. Of course, they would have gotten knowledge from different places and from the QA school as well, right? So that's what people are seeing. When you are not there, let your LinkedIn profile, your CV speak for you. And we're going to be teaching you all of this stuff at this bootcamp. So we're not just equipping you with the skills of software testing alone. We're also helping you to position you properly, to brand yourself properly as a professional that you are. All right. So we're also going to train you on remote working etiquette. You know, somebody was opening his video and I was seeing, you know, angels going in and out of that person's video. There are some things you should not be doing. You should not be doing when you are on a call like this. Your background should not be active. It should be still, because you are supposed to be the object of attention. But when people are now working in your background, somebody is coming to check what's going on and all of that stuff. That's not the proper way to work. That's not. So we're going to be training you also on remote work communication, what it is all about, what are things, you know, you can't say you are in a call, because if you're going to be working as a tester, some of your work will be remote. You can't say you're on a call and you are cooking egusi soup, right? And then they now ask you, Obiora, Obiora, hope you got that. Hope you got that. And sorry, I was trying to unmute. I did not hear. Meanwhile, you were very far. We're very far from what they were saying. So there are etiquettes of remote working. Are you supposed to have a workstation? All of those stuff. What are the things you should be doing differently as a professional? All right. So we've prepared all of this and we're going to be talking to you about it. And finally, we're going to be having practical sessions, you know, assignments. I see that one, I can promise you, there's quiz every week. You go year quiz every week. In fact, because the classes are going to be starting from Friday, it's on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, right? So the minute you're done with your quiz and your classes for Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, you are using to prepare for your quiz. And then your quiz is coming in bang. And every week we are highlighting the student that got the highest, you know, highlighting you on our LinkedIn page, the student of the week and all of that. One of the reasons why we're doing that, we are showing you off to the world that we have some amazing testers that are coming up, right? So classes are going to start from November 28th to December 14th. And this bootcamp has been put at 80,000 naira, right? But we are still accepting 50K for the first 100 students. Yes, I think we have not reached 100 yet. So once we reach 100, it is going to change, all right? So if you want to be part of this class, classes starting 28, you should pay now so that you can be part of the class. Now, one of the other benefits of all of this is the moment you start talking about this thing on your LinkedIn, see, the thing is like gold. You just need to be consistent. You don't know when your day is going to be, right? You just need to be consistent with it. Position yourself rightly, and you're going to see massive results in your professional career, right? So QA provides a clear and a beginner-friendly path into tech. And I can assure you that with consistency and guidance, you can build a very high-income career. Yes, you can. You can. It does not have to be a function of how long you have been in the role. It doesn't have to be. Now, of course, with time, you get to learn some things. And that's just how life is generally, right? With time, you get to learn some things. So I know there are some people that are my students here on this call. I can see you, Perpetua, right? I know there are some people that are my students here on this call. And, you know, it takes time. It takes time for some of these things. It takes time for you to know this thing. But, you know, it is not always like that with QA. Sometimes you can compress 6 years knowledge. If you're a reader, somebody that pays attention, you're always executing, you're always in my DM, for instance. You know, I have people like that, you know, always in my DM asking me questions. So I've done this test case. Can you help me review it? Or if we can get on a call and all of that. If you're that kind of person, right? Come on. I've seen people like that. In no time, you're going to be that thing that you desire. All right. So I finished by 9:06. Thank you so much. Questions. I want to take your questions. Questions from everyone? Raise your hand if you have a question, or you can just drop it. All right. Chidima has a question. Chidima, please go ahead. Even if it is just a feedback, maybe you enjoyed all the jokes I told. It's fine too.
Hello, good evening.
Hi, Chidima. Good evening.
Okay, thank you so much for the class. It was very interesting. So, this is my very first time doing tech, number one.
Okay.
So I'm still wondering if my brain can carry it, of course. But then, but then there was something you said about how we're going to have quizzes and everything.
Yeah.
Um, some of us are still working while we do this. Wouldn't it be a little too much to handle? Because I am at the office by 5 a.m. every day
Mm,
till like afternoon. So it's I don't know if that will be able to, because I'm trying to transition, but before you
yeah. Of
transition, you guys hold money. So I can't just quit all
course.
willy-nilly, jump
Definitely.
into the next thing. So I
Yeah.
want to know based on the quizzes and everything, like won't it be disruptive to
Okay.
my regular work um time, more or less. Thank you.
Awesome. Awesome. So the first thing is I usually mention this. I don't know. I skipped my mind. It doesn't matter your background. It doesn't matter where you're coming from. The way this thing is going to be. You saw the way I just breached through this thing now. I'm going to break it down to something you can understand. I'm going to be the one teaching you, right? So it's going to be something you can understand. If I mention any tech word that it sounds like Japanese, right? You are free to halt me and ask me about that thing. All right. So the way we've designed the class is to make sure that you understand it. Now, it is even going to be much more beneficial for you to be in class than to watch the recording. Now, all the classes are recorded. So if you come back late, you're tired and all of that, you can always listen to the recording, right? Now, you would agree with me that it is easier to sit through a Netflix movie that is 3 hours than to watch a tutorial or a class that is 3 hours. Which one would you prefer? Netflix, exactly, right?
Mm,
So
sure. Mm.
so it is much more beneficial for you to attend the class. So you don't have to worry about the tech stuff, right? We have designed it in such a way it's going to make sense to you, really make sense to you. And the things that we want you to do, in terms of doing those things, NEPA has happened. So in terms of doing those things, it is going to be based on your time. So for instance, right, the quizzes are most definitely going to be maybe Wednesdays by 9 p.m., right? It's going to be on Google Forms. Now, you
Okay.
can take those quizzes at that time if you can. If you cannot, whenever you are available to take them, you can take them. The reason we did this quiz is not like what they do in Nigerian universities. We don't want you to fail. So you can take the quizzes as, even if you've taken it once, you can take it as many times as possible. The reason
Okay.
is for you to have a proper understanding of subject testing. Do you get? So
Yeah.
you don't have to take it when everybody's taking it. You can come back, take it at a time that is most convenient for you. But it's just for you to understand it. Yeah. Very important.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So,
Thank you. Any other question? Any other question from anyone? Okay. All right. So in the absence of any other question, I think a link has been sent to the, yes, David, go ahead. David, go ahead.
All right, good evening. Please, I wanted to ask, would after the whole course, would there
Yes.
be like people that we can reach out to in case we have issues or like
Absolutely, absolutely. You are going to be in the QA school community, and I'm going to be there too. You can even drop message there. You need help on this. That's why it's a community, right? There are always people that you'll be able to reach out to if you need help. Enter my DM. That's all you need to do. Just because I've not entered my DM. All right. So, and in our community, we have a lot of resource persons. We have experienced people. In fact, some of them are on this call. They are just hiding their head low key. Experienced testers on this call. Perpetua is one of them, right? Tella is one of them. There's so many people that are ready to attend to you. We have a community of people that can easily support you. I mean, there are previous students that have taken the course that maybe, they went to finish school and none of that reached back and said, okay, they want to start again. What I would do is just carry you hand you over to a mentor and tell the mentor to guide you. So you don't have to worry about support. The community has a lot of support for you. All right. Hope I answered your question, David.
Yes, you did. Thank you very much.
You are welcome. Any other question from anyone? Okay. All right. So if you're interested in the class, please fill the form. All right. And I'm sure that our sales team is going to get in touch with you. All right. Thank you so much for joining in. I really, really appreciate everyone that joined the call tonight. Really, really appreciate you. God bless you and have a good night. Bye. Okay, Eniola. Finally, Eniola, you said I solved you too, you and Victor.
Yes, good evening, sir.
Good evening.
And thank you for tonight's class. It was very much insightful.
Thank you.
Yeah, so please, I would love to ask concerning this opportunity. Is there any form of internship after this QA school?
Okay.
You can just walk me through if there's opportunity for that, or how do you go about it?
Now, this is the boot camp was created with a different idea and all of that. So in our regular cohorts, there is a long haul of things that we do, right? So there is internship, there is mentorship and all of that, and they will put you in a testing program and all of that. But for the boot camp, it does not come with all of that. But what I can assure you, right, is if you're a serious student and you come tops in your class, I will owe you one internship. That one I can assure you. So I'm going to owe you one internship with the QA school. All right. I know that my sales team is not happy that I'm saying this now. I'm sorry, right? That's just part of who I am. So, but the way the bootcamp was designed, it was designed to equip you with all of the skills. That's why even some of the things we're teaching in the bootcamp, we don't teach in the regular cohort, right? Everything about the remote etiquette, working along, we don't teach it in the regular cohort. The regular cohort has its own track when it comes to the mentorship and everything. If you want to know more, you can reach out to any of our sales team, right, on WhatsApp. They will give you all of the information. But this bootcamp is specially designed for that, right? So it's a different package. But if you take the class and you come tops, please come and hold me by my word.
Okay.
Yeah. Any
That's
other?
fine.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yes. And another thing is in the community that you are, right? In the testing community, we post internships every day. And some of them are people that reach out to us. So sometimes we put it there that if you applied for this role, send us a message. If you applied for this role, send us a message, right? We usually do it. Some people don't reply. Some people send us a message. So for those people that send us a message, we usually forward their names and say, okay, these are our people, please attend to them first and all of that. So there are always opportunities even in the community, right? Apart from the ones that we will create ourselves. All right. Thank you, Eniola.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
Yes. Any other question from anyone? All right. So this workshop is also available on YouTube, right? If you need to send it to someone, you can always search for the QA School on YouTube, and you will pick it up and send it to them. All right. Thank you so much. You can visit our website for more information about us, everything you want to know, all the testimonials and all of that. You can see everything on our website, www.theqaschool.com. It has all of the information you need. Check us out on Instagram. I'm sure that you're going to even like to work with us by the time you see some of the people working with us at the QA School. I have an incredible team. Young, vibrant people are doing amazing stuff, changing lives one at a time. All right. Thank you so much, guys. Have a good night. Bye.